What's up, guys? Welcome to Flip Chart Friday. I'm Kelsey with Sequus. Last week we talked a little bit about conversion, and today we're going to dive a little deeper into how conversion relates to web design. So I'm going to go over how web design can increase conversion on your website. I'm going to go over about 3 elements to kind of get into the specifics of design and how they can really impact how many leads you're getting on your site. The first one is ease of use. You want to make sure that people can find what they're looking for right away when they get to your site. You don't want people to feel lost or frustrated when they come to your website because they're just going to go and find a different site. For example, if your contact link is hidden all the way down in your footer and it's really tiny, nobody's going to scroll all the way to the bottom of the page to contact your business. You want to make sure it's user-friendly and easy for them to find, and it's the first thing they see. So you just want to make sure they're not feeling lost and confused, because that's an easy way for them to bounce right off your page. So you want to just make sure your number one objective is always visible. So that might be different on your desktop or mobile, but just a little example here, on mobile, if your objective is to get them to call now, you want to make sure that's front and center, and you want to make sure that's visible on every page and also visible even when the user scrolls. It's really important just so they can pop right up there and get to where they need to be without having to scroll around and get lost on your site. Same goes for desktop here. For example, if you have a schedule service form or something, you want to make sure that's at the top of the page on all the pages, and even when they're scrolling, it's there at the top of the page. Another element of just ease of use is making sure your services are organized in your navigation. The people that are coming to your site don't have the same knowledge of your business that you do, and it's really easy for people to get confused. You want to make sure it's intuitive and organized, and you want to make sure it's easy for them to find what they're looking for when they click on a certain category. And just another little thing, make sure the text is readable on your site. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a website and had to kind of squint my eyes and just gotten right off the page and found one that was easier to read. So it's the little details like that that make your website easier to use. It's better customer experience, and that's what's going to convert leads quicker and make you money. All right, second thing we've got is formatting. You want to present your content in a visually appealing way. You could have the best content in the world on your website, but if it's not visually appealing, people aren't going to want to read it. So the way you do this is make sure you're incorporating pictures into your pages. Don't be afraid to use a little negative space. And make sure you're including lots of titles to kind of organize the flow of what you're talking about. For example, I am personally a lot less likely to read something like this on my phone or computer as opposed to something like this, where you've got a little negative space, some titles here, got some pictures, just a lot more easily digestible for the user, and that's what's gonna help them stay on your page longer, which means they're more likely to convert. All right, last thing we've got is color and size. So color is so important in web conversion because it basically guides the user where to look very first on the page. You want your conversion elements, for example, any forms, buttons, phone numbers, you want them to be bright. And colors that work really well for conversion are like greens, blues, yellows, and oranges. You want to avoid using red. For some reason, it just doesn't perform as well. So stick to the greens, blues, yellows, and oranges for your buttons, forms, and phone numbers on your site. And you want them to be big. Big and bright is so important. When a user gets to your site, they want to be told what to do. And you want to make sure you're guiding them to a conversion element first thing right off the bat, above the fold on desktop, straight right off the bat on mobile. It's just a really simple and effective way to convert leads faster. So that about wraps it up as far as web design and conversion. A couple action items that you can do right away on your site is figure out your number one objectives. Might be different desktop or mobile, but make sure they are always visible, like we talked about, on every page, even when you're scrolling. And make sure they're standing out in size and color. And that about wraps it up for Flip Chart Friday. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kelsey with Sequus, and have an awesome day.